Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally back to the Birth by Sleep playthrough. I am so sorry it's taken me an entire week in order to, well, get back to making more parts. But, you see, the thing is, I kind of cold-clocked myself with the door the other day, and then I had a recent knee injury with a chair, so things weren't exactly going my way. I needed to heal up. And I needed to do so fast because, you know, Christmas time and coming around and whatnot. But in any case, that aside, that little menu we were just in, that's this game's gummy ship route. And it's pretty short, and I like it. I really like it. Best Kingdom Hearts game of all time. 10 out of 10.
Monsters. The ones the Master mentioned. These are the Unversed.
As Terra just mentioned, these are the Unversed. They will be taking place as your Heartless for this video game. But unlike Heartless, they are not formed from devouring a heart or a heart being released. These are formed by one and one cause only, but we will find what that one cause is by the end of the game. In any case, Unversed aren't too different from Heartless. They pretty much are the same, just with a different origin. Any case, sadly though, since Terra is the first one at the Enchanted Dominion, I'm not hiding the name, you already see the title of the video, we won't be combining his playthrough right now, as of now, with Ben or Aqua's, because their stories don't, for some reason, coincide with Terra's at the moment. Even though they all left relatively at the same time, they don't end up in the exact same area. You figure that out. No, seriously, you figure that out. I've seen the timeline. I've based my editing of this game on the timeline. For some reason, nothing really matches up. Only like 45% of their adventure matches up. So, I guess as the sake of making it different, I guess. But in any case, we just activated a D-Link with Vented. A D-Link is basically you using your friend's super special awesome technique and ability. Basically, you can do this with your D-Link gauge. The problem is, however, it only lasts for how long the D-Link gauge stays up for. If it depletes, then you're out of it. If it's still there, then you can use your friend's secret, special, awesome attacks.
No, you don't.
Now, to level up a D gauge is kind of odd. You basically have to collect these star-shaped items that look like Paopu fruit, but they're not. That's the only way to upgrade them, but you can breeze through this game without leveling up your D-Link. Trust me, it's not necessary unless you're playing standard mode. This is the reason why I recommend playing Proud mode. In Proud mode, to get the 0 points and the last story mission, all you have to do is collect the crown stickers. Playing standard mode, you have to 100% Terra, Aqua, and Ven's stories individually. I was not up for that, okay? If you're playing critical mode, just beat the game. But I'm not playing critical mode, I'm playing Proud mode. Well, this recording that you're seeing right now, I'm playing standard. Why? Well, that's actually another problem that I haven't gotten into yet.
What's this? Why aren't you asleep, boy? That fool Flora cast a spell to put everyone in this castle into a deep, deep slumber.
Who are you?
Why, I am Maleficent, as all who dwell in this kingdom would know. Now you must reciprocate the introduction. Who are you?
I'm Terra. What do you know about those monsters? The ones who attacked me.
Now why would I give a thought to creatures so base, so inconsequential?
Well, they are base. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm looking for someone. Ever heard of a man named Xehanort?
That name is not familiar to me. Is he an outsider like yourself? Oh, but wait. I do remember someone leaving the castle.
Tell me, what was he doing there?
I couldn't say. I can only be certain he was not from this kingdom. If you're curious, go see the castle for yourself. There, the entrance is past the bridge.
Thanks.
Perhaps he did speak about imprisoning the light. The light could be so many things. Could he have meant Princess Aurora?
Aurora.
Any case, as I was mentioning earlier about the whole standard proud mode thing, yes, my initial recording of the game screwed up. I actually recorded this game and beaten it around the release date. You see, the thing that happened was, in order to record this game, I had to ramp up everything on my AverMedia recording device. The problem was, everything else that was running in the background. I could... Basically, if I even had footage to show you guys just how bad everything came out originally, I would show you. Because everything, like every microsecond of frame movement is chopped into bits. It's astonishing, actually, how bad it turned out. Because trust me, if that recording didn't fudge itself up, I would have been done with this game by now. Instead, I just finished this morning, and I'm getting to commentating over part 3 now. You know, I also probably should... It's funny, but ever since that recording fudged up, I had realized I had a lot of downtime and a lot of time to relax and whatnot. And think about my life, but I'm not here to think about my life. I'm here to talk about Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the prequel game. By the way, the only way to restore your D-Link is by collecting the blue orbs. Yeah, and as we can see there is our level up piece. And now we have haste on our side, which means Terra's attacks are going to be going at least 10 times faster. And I love it for it. Now, I decided to revert back to myself. Why? Because the moment you cross the line into another area, you're going to revert anyways, so I might as well save up the D-Link. Any case, the big purple guys, I don't exactly know what their name is, but in case you were wondering, oh man, I bet they function just like large bodies. Believe it or not, they don't. That's a different enemy entirely, but we'll be getting to them later. And they seriously suck. And I mean suck. If I had to name a worse enemy of the game, they're a close second. They're not even like ranked number 1. They are pretty annoying though, don't get me wrong. You know, it's funny, this game tries to distinguish the Unversed as they're not nobodies, but, you know, they're not exactly doing a good job. And I can't tell if that's my recording fudging up, or is that just a... No, it's just the player itself. Okay, so when it goes out live on YouTube, it should be running at a full 30 to 60 frames. Okay. Sorry, I'm just talking out loud. You know, it's something that commentators actually have to do now. By the by, Birth by Sleep is the only Kingdom Hearts game that you can be under level 30. I mean, yes, you can do low-level runs of other Kingdom Hearts games, but this one, if you're going like on Proud Mode or anything like that, level 28, 27 is going to suffice, trust me. That's how I beat the game originally, that's how I beat it when I got this game new, and that's how I beat it when I recorded it for the 4th time. And I know you guys may be saying, dude, you're kind of going a bit overblown with this whole recording thing. Well, let me run down Birth by Sleep for you. You have to do at least 3 separate playthroughs in order to get the final ending, and then you have to beat it in order to get the 0 points / Final Mix exclusive area. Here's the thing. The first recording session screwed up on me. And that's not just Terra alone, that's Ventus and Aqua too. So... and each of them takes me around 5 to 6 hours. So that's essentially 18 to 20 hours long. If I did the math right on that. No, 18 to 15 hours lost. Yeah, that's a lot of time. And I didn't even take into account of the final episode and secret episode. So, like an extra hour? Even though they provide as much gameplay as DLC does. And you mainly play the last two I mentioned for story purposes, because you're not gonna get much enjoyment out of it. Yes, I've played Kingdom Hearts 2. How did you know? Maybe it's because it comes bundled with the game. Oops. Oh, and by the by, I also failed at a recording of Recoded. 7 hours into it. Ugh. It's not my week.
This feels so familiar.
Her heart is filled with light. Not the slightest touch of darkness. Just the kind of heart I need.
For what?
Imagine with me the most glorious of futures. 7 of the purest hearts, each overflowing with light. When brought together, they grant the power to rule all worlds.
What do you mean?
Why, that key you hold. The keyblade, is it called?
Where did you learn that name?
That trinket is the only way to obtain the hearts.
No more games! Where is Master Xehanort?
Impudence will get you nowhere, child. If you wish to learn more, you must retrieve the heart of Aurora.
And why would I ever want to do that?
It's not a matter of why, but of will. In your heart, there is darkness just waiting to be awakened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps not yet. But I have power over sleep. And I can awaken what's inside you. Then you will be free to be who you truly are.
Remember,
This is starting to look like a Mentos commercial.
darkness is our foe. Would that we could be rid of it. You must destroy it. Push the darkness down. Give it no quarter.
I understand, Mark Hamill. Yes, that is Mark Hamill as Ericus. I raise an eyebrow too.
it is. Just what I've waited for. To think that all he spoke of was and will be true.
What? How did I... What did I do? What did you do?
You speak as if I pulled some invisible strings. No, you couldn't be further from the truth, child. I simply whispered to the darkness you already held inside.
How could I do this?
Then!
Yes. Now, you want to know where Xehanort went. Well, that I cannot answer. He disappeared into the darkness. But now I know the keyblade is necessary to gather hearts. Join me. Collect 6 more hearts of pure light. Then we will rule all the worlds together!
You seem to be mixed up. I'm a peacekeeper, not a tyrant.
For a peacekeeper, you're off to an exceptionally poor start. Remember this. The darkness in your heart cannot be held back by force or strength. Now, my work here is done, as is yours. Wasn't there someone you needed to chase?
Wait!
The Unburst. They're gonna bring down the castle. I have to do something.
Yep, just because Terra let the eensy-binsy, teeny-weeny amount of darkness into his heart, he suddenly becomes the most evilest man alive. And that's going to be the, running theme for his entire story. And yes, it was the running theme for Riku in Chain of Memories, but the thing is, you know, in Chain of Memories, Riku was fully aware, okay, there is darkness inside my heart, and I'm obviously not getting rid of it anytime soon, so I might as well use it to my advantage. I'm not going to spoil anything down the line for Terra, but, like I said, a little darkness, and suddenly you're the most evilest man alive. And I mean, Terra means well. He seriously does. It's just that everything he does usually backfires. A lot. But that aside, we better check out what that rumbling was. Heads up, it's a boss fight. Yeah, just like in every Kingdom Hearts game, every world has to end in the boss fight. I'm not, you know, saying that, every world has to end with a boss fight. Woe is me. But, you know, per usual. Thankfully enough, they do try to, you know, make the boss fights different for each character's story. I'm actually trying to think of a boss fight in this game that is the same throughout all 3. Nothing's coming to mind, so that's a good thing. Besides, you know, changing the voice actors and changing the character models, they did legitimately try to change boss strategies, I guess you could say. And, you know, I would give you a round of applause if I wasn't leaning over my chair right now. Because DMC4, that's that's the definition of copy and paste, in my opinion. Especially when you just finished Nero's quest and you jump into Dante. You know, the first level you take on is, okay, yeah, you know, they're not gonna do this throughout the entire game. They do it throughout the entire game. It's like, why? This wasn't necessary. I mean, yes, Nero went that way, but we don't need to hammer it in anymore that Nero went that way. I won't get to DMC4 and probably ever, but, you know, just letting you know. Actually, DMC3 is guilty of it too. I mean, you start up the Virgil side quest, and it's not it's not even a side quest. It's just a Virgil skin with slightly different moves. Any case, this boss had a name, but I completely missed it. Any case, I'm just gonna call it the wheel. Any case, the wheel has a few neat tricks. As you saw, I can bounce the wheel from its head onto you, and you better watch out. That thing hurts a lot. Any case, I say one of the best ways to deal with this boss is the Sonic Shadow, mainly because you have so many invincibility frames. But another thing about the Will, watch out because he literally has 2 separate health bars. The best way to deal with this boss is by going to Ven, since he has haste on him, and just going to town. And especially with Ven's ability Air Drive, you can seriously make short work of this boss. But other than that, there's nothing really to this boss. He's pretty easy and proud, he's pretty easy and critical. So... And yes, this is something that the Unversed do. At least at this point in time. Usually when the Unversed you lose a lot of health, you can see the hatred, the darkness, brimming over in them, ready to spill. I don't know what they're ready to spill, they just are. Oh man, I really should not try to read epically. My throat is killing me. And let's get you with an air drive. Okay, you should be on your last... Oh! Really should be on your last leg. Or your last kilm. Haha! Smart joke. And we just learned Diamond Dust. Diamond Dust is an ability specifically used only when you use Blizzard or any ice type attack. Pretty much envelops you in a bunch of ice where you can, well, unleash ice type attacks.
It was because I was...
Seriously, is that simple.
I'm sorry. I'll get your light back. Once I learn to stand up against the darkness. Why would Master Xehanort imprison the light? The purest hearts of light. Do they hold the answer?
Seven pure hearts, each completely void of darkness. Such a search may take some time.